Guys, I'm here, it's Killer Brovo, and today I'm going to be going over the basics of how to gain a farm experience which will help you get that 155 blueprint and bring you along the battle pass way faster in Modern Warfare 2019. So, the first and probably the most important thing for gaining XP in Modern Warfare is the type of game mode you're playing. So, if you're constantly playing Team Deathmatch, then you're most likely getting 15 to 20 kills a game, which amounts to just roughly 3,500 experience. The game mode I most recommend for XP farming would be Domination. Games can generally last 20 minutes or so, where Team Deathmatch is limited to only 10. On top of that, there is also a kill limit in Team Deathmatch, where Domination you can get as many kills possible within that time frame. So stick with Domination or an objective game mode with an unlimited timer and amount of lives. And the reason I don't have you going to Warzone is because the amount of time that you play Warzone, you could get almost half as much more in multiplayer. But on the other hand, if you're only going with Warzone because that's free, which I totally understand, I would most likely recommend you to stick to Warzone Rumble rather than playing Battle Royale or Plunder. I mean, Plunder is better than Battle Royale for XP, but I would mainly recommend sticking to Rumble. Alright, so my second tip would be to go to the challenges and missions. Okay, as you can see, for every step it gives you 2,000, well, it starts at 2,000 XP, and for every step it gets going up and up and up and up. So, as the one I'm on, which is Run and Gun, it has 2,000, where if you keep going it gets to 3, then 4, then 5, so on and so forth. You also have weekly challenges which give you various amounts of XP, and these are both in Warzone and multiplayer. And you can go all the way back to week 1 and still get these, but I generally just don't bother because I'm always doing these challenges. Or, not the challenges, but the missions. And these missions go in core, Warzone, co-op, and there's newer intel missions, which are little hidden Easter eggs throughout the Warzone map. So every time you go find one, it'll be like, okay, here's the Easter egg and whatnot, and then you have to go back to the menu, which I'm at right now, and you have to look at the next piece of intel like this, and then you have to go back and find the next one. So most people would go in and they would find it and then they'd exit and go in again. I would honestly recommend finishing the match. Find your intel, finish the match. So you basically kill two birds with one stone. I still have the last intel mission to do, which goes all the way up to 10,000, but each step still has a good amount of XP on the way there. Okay, my third tip would be take advantage of double XP weekends. As you can see right now, it's a double XP weekend and I have about 18 hours left on it. So as you keep going through it, I would suggest keep playing Domination, keep getting your challenges and whatnot, but make sure you know when those double XP weekends are coming and make sure you take advantage of them. I believe there was 1 or 2 instances when they actually had a double XP week, and you really want to take advantage of that. And if you're in that weird spot, which I've definitely been in, let's all be honest, we've been there, where there's no real double XP week or weekend in sight, then I would suggest going and using your double XP tokens. If you're using weapon XP, then go ahead and, like, if you're wanting to level up your weapons, use the double XP weapon tokens, because those are specifically for weapons. And then there's season XP, which are just the regular double XP tokens. And yes, you can use both of these at the same time. So you can make your own little double XP weekend if you're just wanting to grind, or if you're wanting to do smaller matches. I would most likely suggest only going for the 15, because if you're coming in to play a match and then go to work or go to school or whatever, go with the 15 because you're probably not going to have that long, and maybe 30 if you're getting for 2, because it still counts down in between the matches. I mean, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. For me, it has, and maybe that's something that needs to be patched, but for right now, it does count down. Okay, and my fourth tip, which is relatively important if you think about it, would be to go to your kill streaks. I know, crazy. What? It's nuts. Alright, use non-player based streaks. And when I say that, I mean the streaks that don't require you to manually operate them. Examples would be like the regular UAV, or the VTOL, the support chopper, the advanced UAV, and so on and so forth. Things that don't require you to manually operate them. Ones that are like that, but I highly don't recommend, would be the counter UAV, because that only covers a certain area. And I don't recommend precision airstrikes or cluster strikes, because they only cover a certain area as well. And sentry guns, once again, they only cover a certain area, and I always find that mine are getting destroyed really, really quickly. So I highly don't recommend those. But the VTOL, the regular UAV, advanced UAV, the support helo, those are very good. Juggernaut, that helps too, but I really wouldn't recommend it, because if you're using, let's say, the support helo is going to be getting kills while you are. So you're getting your kills, you're getting your experience, while in the background you have a non-player based kill streak farming XP for you. Granted, it only lasts a certain amount of time, whereas the Juggernaut lasts until you die, but I would still recommend the support helo. And even then, I think the Juggernaut times out after a certain amount. And then my last tip, which I would only use as a last resort, because if you're only going for the XP, this is not what you'd want, is the operator missions. Like for Golem, the first one only gives you 750 experience. You can get that within, what, one round of Team Deathmatch or something, even though we should not be playing Team Deathmatch. But that's besides the point. You can get that within maybe 6 or 7 kills. So it's whatever. And it does go up like the other, and it goes all the way to 2,000. But the regular missions and challenges give you way more for what it's worth. And I mean way more. So just stick with those and only use the operator challenges and missions as a last resort, because it's really not what I'd recommend. And then you also have your trials, and I would only recommend this if you know that you can do well, because I'll be honest, I'm not very good at trials. I don't think I even have one that's 3-starred. Yeah, so only go for trials if you know you're going to be really good at them, because they do give you a decent amount of XP if you get 3 stars. I think it's 75 or 10, I don't remember, but it's very good. And when I say 10, I mean like 10,000, or 75 is in 7,500. So yeah, just know whether you should be doing the trials or not. And I think that is all for my tips for XP. Right now we have a tournament going on, and depending on where you place in the tournament will determine the amount of XP you can get. So if you're gonna pair up with a buddy, yeah, okay, you could do well in the tournament, and even then sometimes not so much. Whereas if you're teaming up with a random person, you're only gonna get to the preliminaries, maybe semifinalists, because quarterfinalists, that's kind of just a thing where both people are a little tired, so it's kind of iffy. I've never lost the quarterfinals before, but it's always the preliminaries or semifinalists whenever I'm with a random person. And even then, when I'm teamed up with someone I know and we have open communication, it still is not the easiest. So I would highly recommend to stay away from the tournament unless you really know that you're going to do well. And yeah, okay. That is all I have for Double XP. So I thank you guys for joining me to see what I have to offer for tips and tricks for Double XP. And I will see you guys all next time. And